So welcome everyone, and we're going to start with some tennis balls. So you have a couple of options depending on how tight you are. You might come down onto the floor, onto your back, and place those tennis balls at the top of your shoulders. And you're going to stay off your spine. And you can work the tennis balls down your back body. The other option is to make your way to a wall and do one at a time. So you have more control and it's less intense, right? So you decide back on the floor or back against the wall. And you're going to keep the tennis balls off of your spine. So you're staying on the muscles on the sides of your tennis balls or the tops of your shoulders. And so for some of you, you may want to just stay in a spot and let your body sink in to the tennis balls, or you may want to move, and you might want to move your body towards the wall so the tennis balls make their way down your back, or you might want to move through your arms a little bit, right? So just kind of see. And if by chance you're at home and you don't have any tennis balls, you can use a little rolled towel or hand cloth, just so that you have something to give you a little bit of resistance, but not too much. Right? And you're just kind of noticing how's it feels. It's feeling kind of tight today. You know, explore, breathe. Most of you know, like, the main thing is that, you know, you don't want to hurt, right? Yoga is actually a healing practice. So if it hurts, don't do it. All right. So now, since most of you, all of you, chose to be on the floor, you can either keep your tennis balls in a spot that feels good, or you can take them out. And we're going to start to do some movements with the arms. And so just inhaling the arms up, coming to a place that feels comfortable, exhaling them back down to the sides. Just kind of noticing how it feels to move with those tennis balls in place or with them gone now, and moving with your breath. Now the other movement, so we were taking the arms up overhead. The next movement, if you choose, is you're gonna like you're making snow angels, taking your arms out to the sides up overhead. Again, inhaling up as you exhale in. So taking those arms, arcing them out to the sides, if that feels good in your body. And continuing to breathe. Now, next time your arms come down to your sides, let's bring in one knee towards the chest. And you can hold on to it, or you can move it in some circles, just checking in with the low back and the hips, your leg. When you feel complete on that side, we'll take the second side, and again, holding the knee in towards the chest, and or moving it in some small circles. If you are circling, go in both directions, just kind of noticing how this side is doing. Now, again, eventually we're going to come to a place where we stop with that knee and we're going to bring up the other knee. And here, I want you to inhale, so you're going to have your thigh bones, your femurs perpendicular to the ground, hands on the thighs. Inhale is going to be here, and you're pressing isometrically your hands into your thighs. Exhale, take those knees in towards the chest. Inhale away, exhale in. Starting to wake, roll body up, noticing how your breath is moving. Now, if you choose, as you exhale, you can start to bring your head towards your knees. Some of you that might not feel good in your body, and if that's the case, just continue to move through your knees, where you can add and head. Inhaling, knees away, head down. Exhaling, knees in, head up. I know that's a lot of work, so eventually you'll come to a place where you stop, placing your feet on the ground one at a time. We're going to stretch the arms out to the sides. Knees are still bent. We're going to inhale, head and knees to the center. Exhale, head and knees in opposite directions. Now remember, we're still in that warming up phase, so noticing how your body's feeling and only going as deeply as it feels really good right now. Okay, gentle movement with your breath. And then eventually we're going to come to a place where we stop. And then carefully rolling over to one side, using your hands to help you sit up. And then we're going to find our blanket. And we're going to make a little roll. So this is going to be for under your head, right? And we're going to come down onto, let's just say the right side, so we're all on the same side. And you're going to have that right arm extended out. And so the blanket is so that your head is level with your body. So finding, and you could use, if you're at home, a pillow. Sometimes people use a bolster. And then you're going to stack your left arm up on top of the right so your palms are facing each other. And then keeping your elbows straight, you're going to start to glide the top arm. So the bottom arm is stationary. And then your top arm is gliding up and down. And you're trying to keep those elbows straight so that you're just moving through the shoulders, right? Your hands are touching and you're gliding that hand up your arm, still touching. And it's a nice, gentle little movement. I want you to see if you notice anything in your shoulder, right? You're just going front to back, keeping the elbows straight, noticing how it feels in your shoulders. Eventually, we're going to come to a place where we stop, and this time you're going to come up onto the fingertips of your left hand, so your right arm is going to stay, again, stationary on the ground, and you're going to start to walk those fingertips over the head, keeping your fingertips on the floor, and I find it works better here if the elbow is bent, and you keep those fingertips on the floor, and you're just arcing your hand up overhead. Going back and forth, coming back down to your right arm on the ground. You're going as far, again, as it feels good. Breathing as you move. Now, again, eventually your hands are going to come back to your starting point, palms touching one another, and the next movement is to take that left arm and arc it up through the air, keeping your eyes on that hand and opening up as far, again, as it feels good, and then bringing your left hand back down to the right. So now you're arcing through the air, opening as much as you want to. Some of you might even end up bringing your whole back body to the ground. Some of you might have your hand just pointing towards the sky. Again, finding that place. And when you feel complete with that, you're going to pause for a moment, notice how you feel, and then you're going to switch over to the second side. Again, get yourself comfortable with your head. Stretch out your left arm on the ground and place that right arm up on top. And just take a moment to make sure you're comfortable. And then when you're ready, keeping that right elbow straight, just gliding that right hand up and down the left arm, moving through the shoulder, gliding front to back, moving with your breath. When you're ready to move on, we're going to come up onto those right fingertips. And this is where you're going to start to walk your hand up overhead, opening up that chest as much as you want to, moving with your breath again. Keeping those fingertips connected as you walk overhead. As you start to feel like you've done this particular movement enough, when your hands come back to your starting position, you're going to keep your vision on that right hand as you open up. Inhale, arcing the arm through the air, opening up as far as your body wants to, and then coming back to the starting point. You might inhale, open, exhale, close, or you might take a couple of breaths to do the movement. So again, as you start to feel complete, pausing for a moment, and then in your own time, you can use your hands to help you to come up. So that's the beginning of our warming up the shoulders, and I want you to take a comfortable seat, and we're gonna find those tennis balls one more time. So here, your butt's gonna stay on the ground. You look so familiar. Did I have you? Yeah. Okay, so your butt's on the ground, you're gonna place those tennis balls in front, but you want it to be comfortable. Straighten out those legs a little bit. And then you can either pedal through your feet, move through your hips front to back. You can take your knees side to side. What we're looking for is to start to soften up that place at the top of your thighs and the back, where those connectors come into your pelvis. Now, eventually we're going to come to a place where we stop rolling on the tennis balls and it feels comfortable. So you may have to take the tennis balls out or move them forward a little bit. We're going to place the hands onto the thighs. Inhale, body up, exhale, slide forward. And with the tennis balls there, for most of us, it's going to limit how far we can forward. Not everybody, but there might be other things in the way too. So next time you inhale up, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to take those tennis balls and you're going to lift up your butt on one side. And again, you're not putting the tennis ball under the bone. You want it like in the middle of your muscle. So you're going to go on either side of your hips. And then we're going to have the toes and maybe the knees touching one another or coming close to one another. We're going to inhale. Lift up those arms, open the knees out, exhale, bring the arms down, knees together. And again, if it hurts, get rid of those tennis balls or move them. Okay? And next time you exhale, then knees together and the arms down, we're going to take out those tennis balls. Some of you might be happy about that, maybe not. And we're going to make our way up to standing. And this is where, if you like to use blocks when you do lunges, you might have them towards the front of your mat. So, when you're ready, make your way towards the front of your mat. And what I want you to do, just stand with your feet about hip width apart. And we're going to take the hands onto the legs. Most of you know this move. We're going to inhale as you start to slide down, exhale as you come up. And after a couple of times, if you want to start to slide up that outside elbow, you can add that in. And there's no rush. You're just kind of noticing how are those side bodies, how's your rib cage doing today? Some of you may want to start to extend that bent elbow. And some of you may even want to look up towards that arm as you're extending it. This is a great time to see how that head, neck, and shoulder area is doing today. Now, next time you finish your second side, you're gonna find your strap. And if you have a long one, if you're at home, you can use a belt or a low shirt. Get one for you. And eventually we're gonna take that strap behind us. And it looks like you have a really long one, so make sure you hold it in half so it's not dragging on the floor. And we're gonna have the strap down at our low back. And as you inhale, again, keeping those elbows straight without locking them out. You're just gonna inhale the arms up and keep that down. And notice if your body wants to fall forward, try to keep your body upright as you move through the arms. Now, next time the strap comes to the low back, we're gonna inhale body up, exhale, come forward. It's okay if the knees are bent here. And you're gonna, again, inhale those arms up away from your back body, exhale back down to your hips. Breathing with your breath. Next time the strap comes to the low back, pressing down with your feet, inhale, come on up. And when you get to the top, you can keep the strap in one hand because we're gonna use it again in a moment. I just want you to inhale those shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, slide them down your back body. Now, again, making your way towards the front of your mat, having your feet about hip width apart. We're going to take the straps into your right hand and you're going to bring it behind you with your elbow pointing up towards the sky. And then you're going to walk that other hand up the strap. And again, finding that place that feels comfortable. Right? Now we're going to take that right foot, keep it where it is and step back with the left. So both feet are pointing forward and then isometrically pulling in towards the center with your feet. So here, I want you to think about keeping your elbow pointing up as you inhale, body up, exhale, slowly start to come forward. And it doesn't matter how far you go, just noticing that alignment with body, arm, elbow, head. Inhale up, exhale forward. The legs stay straight, but especially if you're a hyperextender, keep a little bend in that front knee. Now next time, we're gonna release those arms, step forward with your left foot. We're gonna take those straps into the left hand. Again, elbow pointing up as you start to walk the right hand up towards the left hand. Some of your hands may connect, some of them may not. Keeping the left foot where it is, so get yourself comfortable in the upper body first and then step back with the right foot, keep pointing forward, isometrically pull the legs towards one another, inhale body up, exhale forward. Notice, like, what does it take to keep your body stable here as you're moving up and down with your breath? One more time, next time. Gently releasing your arms, stepping your feet together. You can place that strap down on the ground for a moment. And then making your way towards the front of your mat. Feeling your feet on the ground, feet about hip width apart. And before we do those bigger movements, I just want you to inhale one arm up, turn your head away from that arm, exhale back to neutral. Alternating sides. Hopefully that your body is starting to feel alive. Whatever it is you're looking for today. So next time you finish that second side, we're going to take the hands onto the thighs. Inhale, body up, exhale, come forward. And then we're going to inhale halfway up and exhale into our forward bend. So finding, again, that place that works for you. Some of you might have those knees bent. Now, next time you come towards the ground, you can place your hands on the blocks or on the ground. We're going to step back with your right foot into a nice deep lunge. And you just want to make sure feet are still hip width apart for balance purposes, and your pelvis, the front knee over the ankle. And again, isometrically pulling your legs towards one another as you bring your hands up onto your thigh. You could pivot that back heel on the ground if that feels better for you. Maybe reaching up towards the sky. And then we're going to interlace those fingers. Press up towards the sky if your arms are up, or you can press forward. And now we're going to inhale here, exhale. You're going to start to come forward, right? So you're going to inhale up, exhale, come forward. Notice what parts of your body want to move. So some of you might bend your knee more. You're looking to bend at the hips. Now, next time you come forward, let's undo those hands. Take them down onto the ground or the blocks. We're going to step the back foot forward. And then come back with your left foot. And again, isometrically pulling towards the center, finding your place, knee over ankle, feet hip width apart. Hands on the knee or starting to reach up towards the sky. How's that feel? How's your balance? How's your focus? And then possibly interlacing those fingers. Inhale, body up. Exhale. So again, next time you come forward, we're going to release the hands. Come down to the blocks of the ground. Step that back foot forward. Let's bring the hands onto the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, in towards your legs. So do we have one more like that in us? I'm asking myself. We're going to step back with the right foot. And this time we're going to pivot it towards the ground, maybe like a third degree angle or so. Again, front knee is bent, knee over the ankle. And here, you're either going to use a strap or interlace your fingers at the back of your body. And we're going to start to reach those arms up towards the sky. So right here, would be good. And just coming forward to whatever place feels comfortable for your body. Now, very carefully, we're going to release your hands, bring them down to your back body, take them down the blocks of the ground. We're going to step back into a plank. And our inhale is going to be here, exhale, sliding back into our down dog. Now, some of you might like to do plank, some of you might like to do up dog. We're going to go front and back for a moment. So checking in with those shoulders, hips, and back body. The next time that you're in your down dog, you're gonna step forward with your right foot and pivot the left foot to the ground. Again, interlacing or using your strap behind your back body, extending those arms. Inhale up, exhale forward, extend the arms. And then we're going to release those hands to the ground. Step that back foot forward. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, the hands to the hips under hands of breathing. A little bit warmer, maybe. All right. So we're going to do some 1 foot things. So if you like to use the wall, you can make your way back to the bar, or you can stay in the middle. So what I want you to do is bring your weight into your left foot and bring up your right knee. And then we're going to roll through the ankle. Right now we're just checking it out. How's that today? We're going to bring that foot down to the ground, second side. You're still breathing. And you're rolling in both directions, of course. We're going to take that foot down. Now, again, I want you to bring your weight into the left leg, and this time extend the right leg straight. It's going to be an exploration, right? Like an experiment. We're going to see how high that leg wants to come up and bring it back down. And then next time it comes down to the ground, we're going to come out to the side. And notice if your body wants to kind of flop over and find your balance. See if you can just isolate that leg. Keep breathing. Again, next time that leg comes down, we're going to take the weight into the right foot. And again, start to bring that leg forward. So find your weight on that right foot, start to extend it up. And you might find one leg moves much more easily or not. Next time that leg comes down, again, we're going to go out to the side. Actually, balance is I say that. All right, next time that leg comes down. Now, this one you can bring your hands wherever you want to. You can have them at the heart center, you can have them on your hips, out to the side, wherever it helps you find your balance. So once more, weight into your left foot, right leg is going to extend behind you. And as you're going to inhale up here, as you exhale, come forward. And let that foot be flexed because that helps to engage those muscles. And then inhale up. We're going to stay on this one side. Inhale up, exhale, come forward. And you could do this with, like your hands on the wall, wonderful, or on a chair if you're at home. Next time that foot comes down, we're going to switch weight into the right foot. And again, inhale, body up, exhale, as you come forward. One more time. And then once you get that foot back down on the ground, having your feet a little bit wide, I just want you to roll through your hips a couple of times in each direction. And wiggle. Make it look like you dance. It's okay to have fun. Right? Yes. Okay. So from here, I want you to, does everybody have a block? Wait until you get one. But you just need one. You're going to take that block. You're going to put it between your thighs. And I want you to squeeze in towards the center, right? You feel it? So it's like, let's say your job is to not drop the floor, right? All right, so we're gonna inhale, body up, and exhale, you're gonna start to come down, and I want you to feel your inner thighs squeezing that block. So you're gonna inhale up, exhale. Can you feel like the inside of your thighs working to hold on to that block? And one more time, when you come down, I want you to find a comfortable place, and you can have your arms extended or onto your thighs. And we're going to shift our weight into the toes, take your heels off the ground, find a balanced chair. Nice. And then as you exhale, we're going to take the heels down, take your hands onto your thighs, slide all the way down. And take out that block, but we're going to put it back in. We're going to come down to the ground. So getting yourself, how can you safely get from stand? Oh, you held on to it the whole time. All right, we're going to come down to the ground. And we're going to put that block again between our thighs. And then very carefully coming down onto your back body or onto your elbows, we're going to lift up our legs. So you might feel better all the way down on the ground, or you might feel better on your elbows. You're going to explore. And you're going to squeeze onto that block. Then come all the way down. We're going to move the block up so it's between our lower legs. And again, find that right width with the block. And here, what I want you to do, we're going to inhale here, exhale, and you might have your arms extended out to the sides. Exhale, you're going to reach your toes towards your right hand, inhale back to the center, and then exhale, reach those toes towards your hand. So it's not just bringing your legs side to side, there's a little angle. And for some of us, it's going to be a teeny tiny movement. Some of you may bring your toes down to your hand. Now one more time on each side. When you're done, take that block out. We bring our hands onto our legs. And this one can be done with straight legs or with bent knees. We're going to inhale, body down. Exhale, slide up your legs. Inhale on the ground. Exhale, slide up. Now, if it doesn't work for your head and shoulders to lift the head, you can bring your legs towards your body. Could also alternate those two. That feels good. The idea is to find those things that work for your body. So next time your head is down on the ground, bend those knees and then take your feet down to the floor. So here, at first, I just want you to find that comfortable place. So feet about hip width apart, maybe 4 to 6 inches from your buttocks. And at first, just tilting through the pelvis. So inhale, tilt your feet bone up, exhale, tilt it down. And then, if it feels good, you're going to start to press your arms into the ground. Inhale, lift up your pelvis and your chest. Exhale, come down to the ground. And we're really, we're trying to get the hips up and open up the chest. You can use your arms on the ground. Some of you might like to bend your elbows to help press into the ground and lift up that chest a little bit more. Inhale is up, exhale is down. And next time you settle onto the ground, we're going to add on to this. It's a multi-step process coming up, but I know you can all do it. So we're going to inhale, lift the hips and the chest, take the arms overhead. That's step 1. Step 2, exhale, hips come down, arms grab onto knees, and you bring them towards your chest. Inhale, take the arms overhead, legs up towards the sky. Exhale, knees into the chest again. This is the big transition. Inhale, feet come down, arms come overhead, lift up the hips and the chest. Exhale, hips down, knees into the chest. Inhale, arms overhead, legs towards the sky. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale, feet down, arms overhead, lift the hips and shoulders. Exhale, hips down, knees to the chest. Inhale, arms overhead, legs towards the sky. Exhale, knees to the chest. One more time, the full vinyasa. Inhale, feet down, arms overhead, lift the hips and the chest. Exhale, hips down, knees to the chest. Inhale, legs towards the sky, arms overhead. And we're going to end as we exhale those knees into the chest. And you can hold on to the knees, you can move side to side, take a little circle, whatever feels best in your body in this moment. And then from here, you're gonna find your blanket. Hopefully everybody has a blanket. And you might roll to the side, use your hands to help you sit up. If you were to start with your blanket in the mountain position, Tadasana of the blanket, you're gonna make a 3/4 fold like this. First, you can do it however you want. I'm just giving you a suggestion. So, and then we're gonna place it on your vertically on your mat. And what I want you to explore is putting the rib cage, like, so you'll have the rib cage to the head supported by the blanket. So again, getting yourself carefully down to the ground and see if you can, just have your rib cage, not the rest of the back on your blanket, so that we're opening up the chest a little bit. So it's a modification of fish pose. And then possibly bringing the arms out to the sides like cactus arms or goalposts, whatever description you like. And some of you might choose to just stay here. Some of you might want to move. So if you want to move, you could inhale in cactus position. Exhale, bring your elbows towards one another. And then inhale, take them back down to the ground. So again, you can either not move and breathe and allow the chest to open up passively, or you can start to move through your arms. Now, if you are moving through the arms, the next time the elbows, forearms, palms come together, I want you to see, keep them together and then reach your fingertips overhead. So you can stay in the center with the elbows, forearms, and palms, and then reaching your fingertips overhead. And eventually coming to a place where pause. Continuing to breathe, having your arms in a comfortable position. Softening your heart center, gentle breaths. And if it doesn't feel comfortable with your legs extended, you could have your knees bent and flat on the ground. Always finding that place that's comfortable for you. And when you feel like you are ready to move from here, because some of you might choose to stay here and continue to soften. If you're ready to move, we're going to bend the knees and roll over to the side and take that blanket out from under the upper body. You're going to keep it in that same roll, and we're going to place it underneath the pelvis. So again, here we are. We have the blanket under the pelvis, feet on the ground, knees bent. And then carefully carefully, one at a time, lifting your feet off of the ground and stretching them up towards the sky. And at first, just point and flex your feet. Notice how that feels with your legs as you're here. And then we're going to open up. So you're going to open out your feet like you walk like a duck. So your legs are still pointing towards the sky. You're pivoting the legs out, and then you're going to pivot them in. So you're bringing your toes out like a V, and then in like an opposite V. For lack of better words. All right, coming to a place where pause in the moment, and this time, and I saw some of you wanting to do this before, we're going to open the legs out to the side. You can support your legs with your hands on the outside or not, and bring the legs back together. So opening up the legs out to the sides, bringing them back together. One of these times when the legs come back together, we're going to pause and then bring one leg towards your body, one leg towards the floor, bring them back together, and then alternate sides. It's kind of like doing upside down splits. Okay. And after you finish your second side, bending those knees towards the chest, carefully bringing your feet to the floor one at a time, taking that blanket out. And this is where I want you to check in with yourself and see if there's anything else that you need to do. Does your body need anything else? And if so, I want you to do that now. And if you're all set, starting to make your way into Shavasana. As you find that comfortable place, softening your eyes, softening your breath, softening the body. to bring your awareness to your breath and your body and notice how you're doing today. How's your breath moving in your body? And while you're still on the ground, I want you to imagine that you can breathe in through your left nostril and breathe out through the right. Just breathing in through the left and out through the right. Noticing how that feels. And then when you're ready, letting that go. And maybe bending your knees, rolling to the side, stretching, wiggling, eventually coming up to a comfortable seated position. And I'm going to invite you, if you want to, you can sit quietly or you can interlace your fingers, and we're going to push out in front. And then inhale those arms up overhead, exhale back forward to the front of your body. Just doing that for a moment, noticing how that feels. Eventually stopping with your palms pressing forward. And we're going to move side to side. So inhale, center, exhale, move to one side, alternating sides. Next time you're in the center, letting your elbows bend and then rolling through your wrists a couple of times. Gently releasing your hands and taking that chin towards your chest. And then very gently reaching, so with the chin tilted forward, reaching your right ear towards the right shoulder, with still the head tilting forward, then coming back through the center, and then left ear towards left shoulder. So we're trying to stretch the sides and back of the neck in this position. Eventually coming through the center and lifting up the head. And then I'm going to invite you to either close your eyes or bring your eyes like at half mast so that you're not really looking at anything in particular. And now that we're sitting up, I'm going to invite you to do that same thing, breathing in through your left nostril, out through the right. And most of you know sometimes we use our fingers and do, alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shavanam. And I want you to use your imagination today and just see how that feels and how it works. And eventually letting that breathing go and just use your natural rhythm. So I thank you all for being here in person and online, and know that you can, I record these and put them up on YouTube if you want to, if you like a practice, you can go back there and find it, it's free. And I thank my teachers past and present and acknowledge the unseen plans that I will be working on. And if you'd like to join me in some sound, we're going to inhale those arms up towards the sky, exhale the sound hue to the heart. Inhaling the arms out to the side, palms open, exhaling ah to the heart. And then inhaling, scooping all around and up from the earth. take whatever it is that speaks to you in here and bring it out into your life. Namaste.
Namaste.